Brandon, can you describe for us the conversations going into today about your availability and how far you thought you might be able to go and how important it was to be involved in this game?
Yeah, I don't think there was a time after I got done pitching. I mean, obviously, I think the day after was probably a no-go, but the way I felt throwing yesterday, I felt good, and it was kind of a no-brainer for me at that point. I said I would be available, and pending kind of the results of yesterday's game and coming in today, I mean it's win or go home. So I mean that's I mean you have to be available. So for me it was just I felt good enough to go out there and try to help in any way possible, and that was just my only thinking. I mean when it comes down to this part of the year, you try to just do whatever you can to help out.
Andrew?
For Woody or Rowdy, just what did it mean to you guys to see Lowe, knowing what he was dealing with, going out there with the effort and performance he did today?
I mean, he's our leader. He's our guy, man. I mean, he goes out there, rain or shine, and he goes out and puts everything he can. It's multiple times that I've seen him go into a wall and be ready to go the next day, that inning, whenever. So for us, it's our time to step up and support him and do everything we can to help him. It's a team game. He puts everything on the line for his team, and that's something we got to do for him. Everybody has each other's backs here, and it's something that is tough to kind of speak on. It's just like an unconditional bond that we have here. I shouldn't even be speaking on that. I got traded over here, and I was welcomed over here with open arms. Felt like I'd been here for years with these guys, came up with these guys. But, this guy sitting to my left here is a true leader and a true teammate to anybody who's ever played with him.
Sophia?
For any of you that are willing to answer, Craig said it's just really hard to move past the disappointment right now in this moment. Just how are you guys feeling about this series specifically and how it ended and what you'll take away from how you're feeling right now to get ready for next year?
Obviously pretty tough. We've got a really good team, and we knew that it was going to be a challenge coming into the series, just with the way that they can swing the bat and pitch the ball. So, and their defense is really good. So, but it just feel like it's just a tough way to end the year. We felt like we had a special group, so it's going to hurt for a while, but we'll get over it, move on to next year.
Over to the left.
Lorenzo, you sat out all last season, came back to play. How rewarding was this season for you, and what does your future hold?
Yeah, sitting out last year was tough. It was definitely tough for me. I was always texting the guys and checking up on them. I got a lot of phone calls from them as well. But like I said, at the same time, I had to do what's best for myself and my son. And this year got off to a rocky start for me with all the injuries. But I worked my way back, worked my tail off to make sure I was ready to go for this moment. And like I said, I'm always willing to put everything on the line for my teammates. And like I said, that's what it's about for me. Getting to this point and getting the playoffs and going from there. So it's tough for it to end this way, but we got to eventually get over it. Go into the off season, put the work in to make sure we're ready to go next year.
Tom, go ahead.
Lorenzo, you got the hit that finally broke the logjam, and then some more big hits came after yours. Did you feel like the pressure was finally off and the game was going to turn in your favor?
Yeah, I thought it would. I know as an offense, we didn't swing the bats well. I know we're definitely capable of swinging the bats a lot better than we did throughout this series. And it just didn't happen. For whatever reason, it just didn't happen. But I back anybody in that locker room, vouch for anybody in the locker room. Those guys can really swing the bat. And like I said, it just didn't go our way. But like I said, you just got to eventually move on, go in this offseason, work your tails off, and be ready to go next year.
Zach?
Rowdy, you're across the diamond when Luis makes those 3 inning plays. Just how are those developing in front of you, and how heroic are those given the circumstances where it's a tie game and one swing can change how things go?
The playoffs are all about momentum, and whenever you can make a good play, swing the bat well, throw a good pitch, have a good inning, it shifts momentum, especially when you're on the road. That's a big change. Be able to shut down a crowd, be able to quiet it out, and that's something that he did for 3 innings. Made some good plays, we pitched well. Like Lo said, we struggled with the bats, but there's really not much you can do when you shut down an inning like that, and you're playing good ball. But I think it all boils down to is us on the offensive side. We just didn't swing it well. We didn't capitalize. I don't think. We may have 1 or 2 hits with guys in scoring position. Myself included, struggled, and I could have changed the game to start off. Had a bad at bat, but that's something you got to turn the page. And right now we're just focused on turning that whole page and getting ready for next year. We got a good group of guys. We got a core that's not going to change. We got a young core. We got the best pitching in baseball, I think. And I think we're just, after this loss, it's tough. It's kind of devastating. We didn't think it would be like this. But, we're going to focus on next year and come back. And we're always going to be a force here.
Todd?
Woody, you guys as pitchers did a really good job of keeping a lid on Freddie Freeman for most of the series. But is there always that kind of shredded doubt in the back of your mind that, at some point, somehow he's gonna come through in a situation like he did tonight?
You hope he doesn't. But obviously that's why he gets paid the big money. He's an unbelievable player, and it's just one of those things. He doesn't swing and miss much. He's always an incredibly tough at bat, and one of those you just have to hope he swings at the first pitch and gets himself out. One kind of deal. He's so tough, and the fact that he was able to hit that ball where he did and hit it out the way he did on a slider, and it just, it's you tip your hat to him. But yeah, he's an incredible baseball player.
Okay, Adam?
Brandon, Rowdy just mentioned the pitching, and I wanted to ask you, because you've been part of all 4 postseason teams. You guys at times talked about the World Series as a real goal. Does this one hurt more because the pitching was at a different stage as some of those other years?
Yeah. Every year is different. This year, they're all tough. You want to play in the World Series. You want to win it, and that's your main goal. And just like Rowdy said, sometimes the ball just doesn't bounce your way, and that's part of the long year, and and that's just how hard it is to really win Major League Baseball games, and to even get to this point is super difficult. So there's a lot of things we can be proud of from this year, and try to carry into next year, but you know what, the goal never changes. We're still believe that we can win the World Series and make it there. So it's just all about trying to do it.
Thanks so much for the time, guys. Really appreciate you coming in. Congrats on a great season.
Thank you.